Welcome to day number 3. It's been a bit of a slow morning, to be honest, and we're now into the afternoon, but we do have wind on the course. I'm hearing 8 to 12 knots, something around those figures. We are going into racing in about 5, 6, 7 minutes time. If you didn't tune in yesterday, you missed a hell of a day of racing. 4 eliminations for both men and women. Johan So is leading in the men, and that would mean he would take the overall world title. That would be massive. Only 20 years old, but he did have a bit of a shocker in the last one yesterday that kind of leaves this doubt because he's used his discard. So any mistakes from him today could change everything. Mateo Yukino waiting in second place. Maciej Brokowski didn't have a good day. Amado Vrieswijk so could come back strong. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. In the women, also super close. Blanca Alabao sitting in second place means she would take the title, but Justine Lemaitre is leading. If Lena Erzin could get ahead of Blanca, Justine Lemaitre would take that world title. So imagine that coming into this competition. Maybe those were 2 outside picks for a world title. Could happen today. We're going to show you the video from yesterday just to get you in the mood for the racing, and then I'm going to be straight back to bring you the live. So let's watch that and see me in a couple of minutes.
Well, anyway.
Good as we come into this first mark. It is going to be Blanca Alabao that jibes in first. Second place, Erzin. Then we've got Justine Lemaitre. The second, third and fourth place riders fighting it out for the world title. It's going to come down to Japan. It's in Blanca Alabao's hands. If she finishes top 2, she will win the world title. Erzin can't handle the pressure and goes down. And she's closed the door on Blanca Alabao. Justine Lemaitre will come through. Unfortunately, Erzin was going to win her first ever PWA race, but maybe the pressure got to her. Justine Lemaitre wins the second elimination.
I had the 5-0, the small board and the small wing, everything small, but the wind is dropping and dropping, so it's going to be tricky to choose the gear in the afternoon for sure.
Here we go. Cedric Board, nothing to lose, full pressure. Mateo Yukino, Amado Vrieswijk all down this bottom end. They've had better starts here. Cedric Board, though, does have the best, and he's trying to roll over Mateo Yukino. The beast staying out of trouble a little bit higher up on that Black Point 7 cell. Amado Vrieswijk further back, but Cedric Board has come out of the blocks swinging. It's going to be Mateo Yukino who comes through in second place coming into this first mark. So Board round in first, then Mateo Yukino. The beast goes in the inside. Great jibe from Johan So, and I think he's just gone over the top of Mateo Yukino. So Johan So has moved up into second place, and he still hasn't stopped pumping. But Cedric Board is the man in the front of the fleet. Wow, it's been a long time since Cedric Board's won a final, and he gets a little bit loose on that foil, and the beast is going through on the inside now. Good bit of drive from Johan So as he moves up into first place. This guy has just got eyes for the world title right now. Johan So, 1 jibe mark to go for another bullet on the first day of racing, day number 2 here in Japan. What a way to kick off this Japanese event and the world title bid for Johan So from Denmark. This would be a 3rd place again for him, 2nd place for Amado Vrieswijk, but out in front, Johan So. What a 3rd elimination. Johan So is nailing it right now, leading this event, leading the world title race. He is looking in unstoppable form. Amado Vrieswijk in 2nd, Mateo Yukino 3rd, Cedric Board in 4th place, and the rest of the crew following on. What a day so far for this man. So that's it, end of day number 2 here, and what a day we have had. First day of action and 4 eliminations in the men and 4 eliminations in the women. In the women, Justine Lemaitre is at the top of the table on level points with Blanca Alabau. Blanca in second place. That would put her in first place in the overalls, and she would be clinching the world title if this event would end now. It doesn't end now. We've still got plenty of racing to come. And in the men, well, that title race is hotting up. So in the men, we came into this event with 5 guys with a title chance. We have finished today, and there is definitely a standout performance. Johan So, the 20-year-old guy from Denmark, nicknamed the Beast, has absolutely killed it today. Second, first, and a first. But it's not all over. Matteo Iachino has had a solid day on the water. He is in second place and in second place in the overall. But Amado Vrieswijk has glimpses of brilliance. Can he challenge for the title as well? Still lots to play for, lots more win to come. It's another early start tomorrow, so join us on the live stream from 8:30. It is gonna go off. Okay, so there we go. That was the wrap up from yesterday. 4 eliminations, like I said. Johan So in the lead in the men. Justine Lemaitre in the women. Overall title implications. Come on, let's get it on. I'm hearing on the course, I mean, I told you the wind before. Guys are taking 8 meters, some kind of big 8s, I would say, maybe even 9s. People thinking about. There's a couple of the smaller guys wanting to take 7.2s, but it's just not enough wind. So they will be on their bigger gear. Women on the 6s and big 6s, I would say. That is pretty much how they're looking. Okay, so let's have a look. We should obviously kicking off with elimination number 5. Who doesn't know where we stand at the moment? I think we've done all the explaining, so hopefully you do know. But this is the last event of the year if you are just tuning in. This is going to be the first round of Elimination 5, so we won't be seeing the seeded riders for the first 4 heats. After the first 4 heats, we'll go into the quarterfinals, and that is where we'll see our first glimpses of the main players, the guys that are mixing it up inside the top 16. So the way the seeding works, it works off the top 16 from the last elimination. So we will have guys like Johan So in this first round now, because he had a bit of a shocker in that last elimination 4, where he scored a 22.5. So he will be in the first round. He cannot afford too many mistakes now. Well, one big mistake could put him out of that world title position that he's in right now. At the moment, if it was to finish now, no more eliminations, Johan So, the 20-year-old Danish rider, would be the world champion. But as we know, it's not over. There is going to be more eliminations. The forecast is looking good for tomorrow. There was rain on the forecast. That has dried up a little bit now, and it looks like there's less cloud, and they are forecasting wind. So I would say, guessing from what I've seen so far, probably at least 2 eliminations tomorrow would be a guess. The last day of the competition is not looking good. So every race now, it might mean we don't get a discard depending on what gets done today, which it will make it very exciting. 2 discards will come in after 7 eliminations. So yeah, let's see how it plays out. Okay, women is another thing as well. That's also an interesting battle for the world title. So we will see. We will see. Yellow flag is up on the boat. 2 minutes to go until the start of Elimination 5. They're quite a long way out today. Obviously not much wind on the beach. Very similar to yesterday. I don't know how long this wind's going to stay around for. It is nearly 2 o'clock, so 1:45 local time. I'm looking at the forecast, and it does say the wind is dropping between 1 and 3. So that's not a good sign. But at the moment, definitely enough wind to get things started. So we'll see how it pans out. We're expecting the wind to be dropping as we go through this elimination. Like I say, tomorrow is looking good, and it's looking good pretty much all the way through till about 1 or 2 o'clock yesterday, tomorrow. So we could even get 3 eliminations in tomorrow. So maybe that second discard will come in, and that would definitely give an advantage to Johan. So with the results he's looking at the moment, like I said, when things happen, we will update all this stuff because it will be changing all the time depending on the individual results. You're probably thinking, what about Maciej Rakowski? Wasn't he in world title contention? He was, but he's having a bit of a shocker at the moment in terms of this event. So we'll have to wait and see what he can do today. Could he get back into the game? I don't know. It's not looking great at the moment, but they never say never. They say Amado Vrieswijk as well. Another guy could cause some problems. He's got a first on the board. He's got a second on the board, and then an 8th and a 9th. So if he were to go on a run today, a good streak, and we do get to 2 discards, which would be after 7. He could definitely come into contention. Everything can happen. But here we go. Kicking off elimination 5 in the early rounds. We've got Singapore 1 in the mix. I did have the GPS all set up for you, but I've lost my screen now, so I'm not quite sure we had the speeds and everything. But we've got Everard on the Neil Pride up the top end, looking pretty good. We've also got the S2 Maui sails in there from Jules. We've got Singapore 1, which is Tan. Had a good start there, but he's getting a bit reeled in. We've also got, who's that, Kitara? I have to see on the Severn. Okay, so it looks like Everard, the young guy from Belgium, looking good. There we go. We got some speeds on the bottom. 42.8 kilometers an hour from Everard on that first reach. The fastest guy on the course, though, it looked like it was Jules. Oh, that is actual speed at one moment in time. And Jules has actually gone into the lead here underneath on that bottom bit. So we can see the speeds on the bottom of your screens if you want to have a look. Obviously, the red one will be the fastest rider at that current time. So it is Jules at the moment, but it's going between him and Everard at the moment, up to 52 kilometers an hour. And some pretty light winds. Those two going head to head. And it looks that way on the race course as well as they come into that first mark. Like I said, just trying to cruise it through. Not a good jibe from Jules. Great jibe from Everard. Just going to cruise through these early rounds. As you can probably hear, my voice is having a bit of a moment after yesterday. It was about 7 hours of non-stop talking, so it took a bit of a battering. So I can say I've definitely welcomed a bit of a break today. It's getting a bit raspy out there. So Everard in the lead. We've got the Severn in second place. Let me just grab a look at this number. I'm guessing it's Karagami, but let's have a look, see if we can see that number coming in. I think it is Kanagami in second place. Then we've got Lohan Jules, and then a little bit of a gap to the fourth place rider. Top 4 will qualify for the next heat. Sean Hogan tuning in, says can't wait to see Lena on her youth gear, kicking some ass again. Yeah, she is on the youth IQ foil gear. And yeah, not something you would think of as slalom equipment. But I'm not an expert on that field, but maybe you guys at home can fill me in. But it's not something you see a lot of the guys or the girls on. Everard It's going to make easy work of this. Kanagami looking pretty good as well in these lighter winds. Lohan Jules also qualifying quite comfortably. And then we've got the 4th place rider. Is that Kitahara? We will soon find out when we get towards the finish. So, Everard, if you are just tuning in, don't worry, I will step the commentary up as we get further into these heats, but I don't want to bust it out too early. These early rounds are usually quite relaxed. So yeah, Everard through in first, Jules in second, Kanagami, yep, in third, and we're not going to see the 4th place rider, so we'll have to look at the results for that. Could be Japan 33, which looks like Kunsuna. I'm just looking at the GPS for that. I'm not quite sure how it works. Do we get them in order as they go over the line? Because it doesn't really add up like that, but it looks like it. Japan 33. We'll give you official results when they come through. Next up, we've got an interesting heat number 2, because we do have Sukos and we do have Johan So in this first round. Like I said, he had not his best heat. Now, he can't afford any mistakes today, Johan So. Otherwise, he'll be, you know, a big mistake for him in the first round. If he was over the line, if he crashes out, he'd have to count a 22.5, which would totally change everything. We can't see that happening, but you can't count it out. You never know. You know, break of equipment or something like that could happen. We've got Yon Ho in this. We've got Tegda. We've got Kenta. We've got Takajima. We've got Kei Yin. And we've got Komura. My voice is, yeah, raspy. Just looking at the comments. We got Minsex saying, I thought it looked like Lena was on the IQ gear. That's amazing. Ben has been noticing some sponsored races from the Challenger sales team have different coloured schemes. Have you seen the green, pink, more colourful red models? Yeah, they've got, I mean, I like in the different colours. I think more brands should do it, especially for the top racers. I mean, you know, Bjorn Dunkerbeck back in the day, Robbie Nash. It was nice that they had their own colours. I know things have changed a bit, but it is pretty cool. Andrea Pagan tuning in. No tiramisu here, mate. Haven't seen any. There we go. We're expecting Johan So to cruise this one. We've got Singapore tuning in as well for this. Yun Hao. We've got Sukos. Johan So is going to bust out the speed here. Like I said, can't afford any dramas in these early rounds, but we're expecting him to win this one by some way, and he's already powering down this first three. Just look at the speed difference. This guy is leading the event, and he's obviously back in the first round after a disappointing 4th elimination. He didn't disappoint much yesterday, but that 4th elimination sailed into a bit of a wind hole, but no one else got stuck. Let's have a look at his speed. We're seeing nearly 50 kilometers an hour. I think 52 so far is the record. Shin Hao, Sukos. Got our other Japanese rider, Kenta. Oh, Kenta, not a good jibe, but there was an opportunity there, didn't take it, and he's actually come right off the plane. Is this the wind dropping already? Worrying times out there. How many heats will we get through? He's the fastest man on the course, but the speeds are already dropping actually from the first round as well, which is interesting. So definitely gusts out there. The wind is forecast to drop. I don't know how many heats we will get through. But Johan So trying to keep it going. I think he's on a rough about an 8 meter or something like that. He's definitely not got super loads of lift. Super loads of lift, is that English? It doesn't matter. Most of my words these days are not proper English. Yeah, there we go. The wind is dropping. Look at that. Sukas dropped off. Junhao dropped off. This is not good news. They were worried about starting because the forecast wasn't good. But, you know, with people playing around and foiling around, it kind of had to go. But at the moment, it's definitely looking like big wind line up that top end. But he is keeping it going. Johan So. I think as long as the top four stay in the top four, I think this one will count. But the guy's definitely dropped off the foil behind him. Johan So cruising through though, so difficult to cancel the race when people are foiling. But it's looking a bit ominous to maybe not get through to that second round already, which is a shame. Let's see. We will just see how it plays out. Sukos just getting through. 8 to 13 knots on the course. Yeah, there we go. And finishing up 46 kilometers an hour then. And we saw in the first race they were already doing 52. So interestingly, Johan So hasn't been the quickest today on the GPS that you can see obviously on your screens. Which is interesting because you would expect him to be one of the fastest, but it is just the first round. Trying to lay it down. So that's heat number 2 wrapped up. Elimination 5. Next up, we've got heat number 3. Akita, Anami. We've got Tomizawa, Becker. Becker's in the first round as well. Ikoma, Koyinda, Adamis, and Tieme. And there we go. It looks like we've already started. I'm not sure we've got the drone there. Looks like they're trying to get it run nice and quickly. You can see Becker in the middle of the picture, looking solid. Kind of used to seeing his stance. Is quite distinctive. Obviously no drone up in the sky at the moment, coming back from the other race. But Becker looking in a good position there. Also, I think Anami would be also a safe bet to be up there. The young Japanese rider, Japan 60. Koyinda as well. I'm used to seeing him in the mix. And it is going to be Becker that goes round in first place. Super light there. Becker dropping off the foil. This is not looking great, is it? Really is not looking great. I don't see this as going to count. No, I don't see this as going to count. I think we'll be seeing the boat with the cancelled flag coming through pretty quickly. Yeah, heat number 3 has been cancelled. It's looking pretty ominous, isn't it? It's not looking good. Johan So was on an 8.8. Just for reference, which I think is good to know. Thank you, Miss Jackson. This is for real. No, you don't want me singing. Okay, I won't sing. There we go. Maciej Rakowski getting a bit of fan action in. There we go. Selfies galore. Keep that chin up. Don't want to see the double chin. There we go. He's famous. He's famous. He's the reigning world champion, that bloke. Coming into this event, he was still leading the world rankings, which is just impressive in itself. Like I said, so far we've had one day of racing. It didn't quite go Maciej Rakowski's way, but don't let that take you away. Heat abandoned. So results from the first round are official. Everard, Jules, Kanagami and Tan. They were the official results coming through. Yeah, we can have a look at the overall event results for people who have not seen them yet. Let's go and have a look. Let's see. And we can have a look further down the list because it's very close as you get further down the list. You know, a lot of the time we're only mentioning the top 3, top 4, top 5 guys, which is also interesting. But this is obviously the women. We've got Justine Lemaitre, 4.7 points, equal with Alabao. The interesting one is Erzin was leading. We had 4 eliminations yesterday. First race not so good. The second one she was leading and crashed out at the last mark. Then she won the last 2. If she'd have won that, she could be in between. Well, she couldn't because they're level points. But if she can squeeze in between Lemaitre and Alabao, Lemaitre, if she wins this event, Alabao finishes 3rd. Lemaitre would win the world title. So it is interesting. It's not over. We're going to have some races tomorrow, that's for sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen today. My gut feeling is that could be it. I just have this feeling, the forecast, looking at it, it's meant to drop. It has dropped. Everything has been pretty solid according to the forecast. But tomorrow, 2 or 3 eliminations, and that is a big difference. 3, we get 2 discards. What would you prefer? 2 discards or 6 races and 1 discard? Because it could make a huge difference. This is the men's overall. Again, really interesting. Coming into this event, Johan So, Yakino, Vrieswijk, Maciej Rakowski and Pierre Mortavon had a chance at a world title. Pierre is not having his best event. You can see he's not in the top 8. Mattis is going well, but it's not going to make a difference to the overall. Board finished really well yesterday with 2 3rd place. He's up into 7th place. Probably his best position he's been in foil racing. Rakowski came into this event leading the world title race, but he's not having a good one. He's back in 6th place. And then we've got the top 5. At the moment, we've got 3 Italians in the top 5. That's crazy. Benedetti has been one of the guys who has kind of broke onto the scene this year. He's not going to upset the title race. Well, he could upset the title race, but he's not going to be in it. But he could upset it. Bruno Martini, he actually got disqualified from one of the races yesterday from being in the wrong heat, which is a shame because he was having a good event. And then we've got the top 3. All 3 are in contention for a world title, although Vrieswijk will need a bit of a miracle because the other guys are going to have to drop out and other people have to take the place. He would have to win the event. But for the event win, he's still in with a shout. He's got a 1st and a 2nd with a mixed bag of results. 8th and a 9th, I think he's got, discarding a 9th at the moment. And then we've got Yakino and Johan So. That's really where the title race is at the moment. Yakino's been consistent. Johan So was oh so consistent, excuse the wordplay there. He had a 1st, a 1st and a 2nd yesterday, but then a 22.5, which is his discard. So the problem for Johan So, although he's leading at the moment, one mistake, he will add every point. If Yakino, let's say, finishes 12th, he will only count a 7th because I think that's his worst result. If Johan So finishes 12th or 13th or something, he will count every point. So that would then make everything change. So that is how we're looking at the moment. We are really poised for an exciting title race, which could come down to the wire. Obviously, if Johan So goes out in the next 2 eliminations and smashes them, it's probably all over for everyone else because then the 2 discards come in at 7. You know, you'd only have to get 2. Jesus, he only has to get 2 more good results. 2 more good results for Johan So if we get to 7 and the 2 discards come in and he's done. Yes, wow. Interesting. So there's a lot of maths working out there. If you're not following the tour, maybe a lot of that sort of stuff might go over your head, but I will be talking you through it as it happens. It will make a difference because there's some exciting maths. Have you ever been excited by maths? That's what windsurfing does to you. You get excited by maths. Yeah, that's the wind forecast. So there you go. You can see tomorrow peaking at around 8 o'clock. I'm guessing we're going for an 8 o'clock start tomorrow. So we're going to have the peak of the wind there, and we're still going to have good wind nearly all the way till 3 o'clock. It's pretty much. So we should be in for 3 eliminations looking at what we did the other day and what we did today. 3 eliminations would give us 2 discards. So for Johan So fans, he pretty much needs to bang out 2 good results in the next 3. Could happen, couldn't it? It could happen. And then the Tuesday looks like no wind. The graphic's gone now, but if you look at the Tuesday forecast, pretty much nothing on that forecast. So the world title will come down to tomorrow's racing if that forecast holds like it is. Still wind out there. It's up and down, gusty, but there is still wind, so still hope. Got Casper Nilsson saying 6 o'clock a.m. and you've missed nothing. You've had a good night's sleep, ready for the wind. What's the forecast for tomorrow? Yeah, I've just been through that, Bob. What else have we got on here? We've got, hi, Japan, can you tell us what rule change for next year? It's a bit complicated to understand fins and foils. Sam, if I knew, I would tell you. It's all in talks at the moment, but there is rumours that there will be a split. So it will be foil racing, and then certain events, the windy events, maybe Pozo, maybe Fuerteventura, for example, could have fin-only races. So a couple of fin-only races, maybe a couple of days of fin-only, and a couple of days of foil-only races. And there will be separate results for both, and then an overall world title. As far as I understand, it's just rumours, nothing official. So don't take me on that, but just gives you an idea of what is being discussed. Bob, do the IQ gang sail in less wind than the PWA? Yes, I'm pretty sure. They've got way bigger foils, and they race in pretty much nothing, because the Olympics you have to be able to race in absolutely nothing. So I would say they do. If someone wants to correct me, please do. But when I know the PWA boys have done IQ races, there has been some complaints about the lack of wind in some of them. There we go. Looks like a happy chap. What's his sale number? Let's give him a shout out. He looks fully chirpy chappy, doesn't he? He's living the dream right there. What's his sale number? Do we... There we go. Bit of beach chat. I think that's Sanaga. So if you're just tuning in, we're on standby at the moment. Everyone's out there. Could race at any moment. We have done a couple of races, and we should have official results from Heat 2. Yep, Johan So, Junhao, Sukas, and Kenta were the guys that qualified through. So no mishaps so far. And so far we're on to heat number 3, elimination 5. Throwing it down, look at that. No wind at all, he's laying it down. Japan 16, which is Kanagami. He made it through his first round heat today. Oh, that is Kanagami. That's maybe the guy we had before. He is a happy chap, isn't he? He's got the speed goggles on. Oh, that's another. Is that another one? He is living the dream right now. Any other questions you've got, hit me up. I'll do my best to answer them. There we go. That's the overall slalom rankings coming into this event. So that's how they did look. Maciej Rakowski was obviously leading, level points with Mateo Aquino, and then 1 point back further than that, Pierre Mortefon and Johan. So it was so close. And then Amado Vrieswijk a few more points back. So for Amado to win the world title, he would have needed, to win the event and the other boys be outside the top 3. It would have took something, but don't count him out for the event win just yet. He's still got a good chance if we get 3 more eliminations, that's for sure. So those results have obviously shifted since we started racing here. At the moment, we got Johan So is leading, looking for his first ever PWA World title. And obviously we've got the women's rankings coming into this event. We had Blanca Alabao, second in Tourbillon, first in Pozo, third in Furta. Marion Mortafont, third, second, very consistent. And Justine Lametiere, first, fifth and fourth. Just needed one more decent one, and Lametiere would be in a real shout. She's still in with a shout of a world title, but she needs to rely on someone being between her and Blanca. So if she's to win this event and Blanca finishes third, she could still win that world title. It's not over yet. So plenty of racing to go. Postponement flag is up on the boat. Like a Where's Wally flag, that one. You can say feel free to hit me up with any questions. There's Amado Vrieswijk. Future Fly boards, Severn sails, Z foils. He's definitely not got loads of lift at the moment. So it's quite light, but there's breeze. Everard giving him a little run here. He's a unit, isn't he, Amado Vrieswijk? It's amazing how no one runs into each other. You know, it's not like on the motorway where you've got your own lanes. Just random playing chicken with each other. Here we go, that's the old Liberty X harness. Liberty X, is that right? Liberty harness. Liberty X was some band, wasn't it? Girls band, yeah, I know what you're thinking. You'd be right. But there's quite a few people using that harness. You look at a lot of the top riders. There we go. Johan So's got one on. The Liberty sort of half waist, half seat harness does seem to be a favourite for a lot of the foilers. He's on 8-8, Johan So. 2 more good results away from a world title would be my guess. Because if we get to 7, 2 discards come in. He's got 2 firsts and a second. If he was to bang out anything like a first and a second, surely that would be the world title. Then discards the other 2. Bosh, 20 years old, best in the world. Oh, we're going in. AP flag coming down. There we go. So 1 minute till the 4 minute. Here we go. Bit of a last minute tune in, I should say. Hello, he better hurry up. I don't think he knows the red flag's coming up. There we go. This is the heat ladder. Ikeda, Anami, Tomizawa, Becker, Ikoma, Koyinda, Adamadis. My brain has gone today, and now I can't see the last guy, but TMA. Red flag is up, 4 minutes to go. Does Carpenter make foils? I don't think so. Not that I know to. So red flag up on the boat, heat number 3, elimination 5. So we got Becker in this early rounds. Bob says he enjoys watching Martini. He's an all or nothing type of guy, always on the edge. I think you'd be. I think you're right there. Will we see TMA on the foil gear? Well, his bags have turned up now. For the first days here, he didn't have any bags. They've only just turned up. So if you look at his results, you'll probably see that. But he said everything has turned up now. It's all good. I'm like, well, it's not quite all good, is it? It's a bit late. He's quite chirpy considering. I think I'd be quite upset. Maciej Rakowski doing a bit of wiggling around. 2 minutes 25 on the clock. Will we get through many heats today before the wind drops? That is the big question. Maybe. Let's see. Here we go. That's Benedetti on the pink Challenger, pink and red. 1 minute 50 on the clock. We've got Michelle Becker just getting ready. A few more spectators today. The weather's actually cleaned up quite a bit considering what we had this morning. It was quite naughty this morning. It was a bit miserable. It was a bit wet. A bit like a drizzly England is what it reminded me of. But that has actually cleared up now. It's not so bad. Yellow flag on the boat. 1 minute 20 on the clock. Wonder what the top speed of today will be. Anyone want to make any predictions in kilometers per hour? Yellow flag about to go down. Bank. There we go. 1 minute to go. We got 60 seconds to go. Oh, look at that. There's some big holes, isn't there? It doesn't look great to the trained eye here. This is, I'll be surprised if we get through this. I'd be very surprised. It looks very holy. Bit of a religious race, the holy race. Let's see what we've got. 25 seconds on the clock. Right, let's have a look what the drone is going to show us. Here we go. So look out for Michelle Becker here. We've got Japan 5. Good start from him. I think it was a good start as well. So Becker didn't need to be on the line. He obviously quite confident, but Japan 5 was on the line. Ikeda, that was a good start from him. Japan 11 as well in the mix. Tomizawa. But is that Koyinda pushing through up the top end? Michelle Becker, obviously. We expected to see him push through. And Nami up that top end on the Severn. Japan 60. We've got that duotone in the middle. I think that's Koyinda. Or no, maybe it's not actually, unless he is on duotone now. This is Michelle Becker going around the first mark in first place. That's Jimmy Tieme, that's who it is, surely. Can't see the sale numbers, but I'm guessing that's Jimmy Tieme. Michelle Becker, Jimmy Tieme, Japan 11, which is Tomizawa, and Nami coming through on the other Severn. And we've got a race going on. I was wrong. Looks like there's plenty of breeze. 44 kilometers an hour at the moment from Michelle Becker. We got what up to 52 in the first race. So this is Michelle Becker coming into this first mark. Just shuffles rounds, nice and easy. Jimmy Tieme round in second. Tomizawa and then Anami, the two Japanese riders. Great jibe from Anami there. And we got Japan 22, which is Koyinda on the loft sail. So he's still on loft after all these years. Akeda as well. But Becker looking comfortable out in the front. Obviously switched to Patrick gear this year, and it definitely seems to be working for him. I did hear a rumour that Cedric Board is on the Patrick foil, and definitely had a good day yesterday. He's switched sponsors halfway through the year onto the Patrick foil. It seems to have improved, so I think the Patrick boys will be pretty happy about that. So Tomizawa goes through. We've got Anami going through. Jimmy Tieme just ahead of them. That is your top four. Looks like quite a cruisy race. Michelle Becker, though, looking in good form at the front of the fleet. Just one jibe mark to go. And this will be, I think, a bit of a cruise for the top four here. Barring any disastrous mistakes, they will be qualifying for the quarterfinals. So this is the last mark, up to 48 kilometers an hour there for Tomizawa. Jimmy Tieme, Tomizawa and Anami. So there we go, just going to cruise it home. Who's going to go the fastest? 48 for Becker. Can he push 50? No, he's dropped back. Nearly 50 from Anami there. 49, Becker. Didn't see 50 cracked. So Jimmy Tieme, Tomizawa and Anami. There we go. That's your top four qualifying through to the quarterfinals. Well, I didn't think we'd get this far. It really felt like the wind was dropping, but seems to be pretty solid then. Koyinda going over the line now. And Akeda. Okay, next up we're going to have heat number 4 in the first round, and then we'll be going into quarterfinals and we'll see the seeded riders, and that's when we could see some upsets. You know, in this sort of wind, you get a bad start, something goes wrong, it's going to be a struggle to get back. So that's the start, is it? Okay, I didn't see the countdown. So yeah, we are starting. We've got Bruno Martini in this one. We've got Schoberg in this one as well. We've got Kudu as well. Expect to see him up there. And I think we've got Colombo. So those would probably be the seeded riders in this. And they are looking like the seeded riders at the moment because they are in the top 4. Let's not count out Yamada as well. Yamada's on that duotone. Might give the other Japanese rider, Kudu, a little run for his money here. Kaku as well in this. Masaki, Riteki, and Gotan. Obviously, Bruno Martini was disqualified yesterday for sailing in the wrong heat. That is why he's in this first round. So Bruno Martini going round in first place. Good jibe from Colombo there. Yamada going through. And then Kudu. And sorry, Schoberg in third. Then it is Yamada just overtaking Kudu. Oh, Colombo. He wants it, doesn't he? He wants to win. He's been doing a lot of IQ foil racing. Colombo from Switzerland. But Bruno Martini, he's got his hand out. What's that? He's signaling to something. Not quite sure what it is. Yeah, no, something he was signaling to somebody, but there's no one there. I'm trying to pump out of this. There's a big wind hole there. Boys are doing well to pump out of this. This could be pretty difficult. Kudu coming round. We got Yamada coming round. Yeah, this is going to be the tricky one. Keep that thing going. You can see Bruno Martini. He's like, cancel it, is he? I can't tell what he's meaning by this. There's a lot of hand signaling going on. Is he talking to the drone? Is he talking to himself? Is he talking to a boat? I'm not sure. But he's the one that is still going. And that's the thing with the foil. If you can keep your speed up, you'll keep the thing flying. As soon as you do a bad jibe or you drop down, you're not going to stay foiling. So you can't cancel it for the guys that can't keep foiling on every occasion. There is a skill in keeping it going. It isn't just lack of wind. Well, it is lack of wind, but there are different things you can do. Like I said, if you do good jibes, you stay out of trouble and keep the thing moving, your forward momentum will create your own lift. So it's interesting, unless you sail into an absolute vacuum, which there are a few out there. Seeing some strange speeds coming up on this GPS system. But Bruno Martini looks like he's going to get this one cruised. He's only going 26 kilometers, 30 kilometers. Is that right? Maybe. Colombo looks like he's got second sorted. And the battle for fourth is actually on. It looks like Yamada is in third. Schoberg is in fifth at the moment. And Japan 28 is your man in the all-important fourth spot. Could Schoberg come back at him now? 28 is Kaku. And Schoberg has got a bit of a race on his hands here. Kaku just covering him. He's going to struggle to get past him. Bruno Martini will make it through to the quarterfinals. Nice and easy. Colombo in second will make it through to the quarterfinals. Yamada down this bottom end looks like he will make it through to the quarterfinals. And it looks like Kaku will make it through to the quarterfinals. You got Schoberg behind him. But I just can't see how Schoberg's going to overtake him. He's giving it a go, though. I don't think there's enough space or enough speed difference. No, Kaku's just covering him through. Oh, well, there we go. I'm pretty sure he got that, Kaku. But we got a nice view of that new drone there. And we are already starting into the next round. And this is the quarterfinals. Got some quite big names in this. Board, Preen, Mortafon, Tajma, Evrard, Jules, Kanagami and Tan. You can see Pierre Mortafon there down this bottom end. I think they've basically go general recall. There we go. That's interesting. General recall in these conditions. Is it one of the lower seeded riders or is it one of the top seeds? If it's one of the top seeds, well, actually, most of them have not got too much to lose, to be fair. Yeah, we're going to need to slow the races down. We're just saying for the TV crew to happen. I think they're so keen to get it moving because the wind is on the edge right now. I mean, you look out from the beach where we're sitting here in the commentary booth and it looks like there's almost zero next to the beach. We did have that yesterday. We had some good racing out the back, but on the inside there wasn't much, but you can kind of see it. So we will have somebody disqualified, at least one person disqualified from that heat. Okay, how many sailors were over? That's the question. We're about to find out. Somebody won over early. Let me have a quick check. It might be Singapore won. Tan. So Tan is over the line early and will be disqualified. I mean, he would have had to push the line there. There's some big names in this heat, so if he were to qualify or at least have a chance, he needed to push the start. So, waiting for the restart of heat number 5. We're into the seeded riders right now. Who is up? Who is watching? Have you had a good night's sleep? We are going to have a bit of slow racing at the moment. I'm not sure how far we're going to get through this. I know I keep saying I don't want to be the bearer of bad tidings, but it ain't that windy out there at the moment. It's on the edge, but we are getting some races done. And when it's on the edge, we might have some upsets. We got Zachary saying, what were yesterday's speeds? We didn't actually have the GPS things on yesterday, but I'm sure we're going to find out tomorrow. That is for sure. What are the max sails that the women can use? I think they can use whatever they want. Most of the guys have got 9 meters as their big sails. The women probably 8 meters as their big sails. You know, high 7s or high 8s for the guys. It's usually the big ones. Drone too close as it bears away for the jibe mark. Yeah, I'm sure we haven't got too much control over them, but sometimes it does go a little bit wayward. Hi Van, what is the biggest size foil wing that the guys are using at the moment or have on the beach in case that you need something bigger? They're only allowed to use 2 foils, and a lot of them, their bigger wing is like 550, maybe 6 for some of them. Maybe 650 of the biggest would be guessed. There is an equipment list. I think someone might be able to link it in the YouTube video if you really want to have a look at all the different registered foils. But this is how Elimination 5 is looking, heat number 5. First of the quarterfinals. We've lost Tan to the over early, but we do have Cedric Board, Nico Preen, Pierre Mortefon, Tajima, Everard, Jules and Kanagami. So while we're waiting for this, I mean, it's interesting. Nico Preen is in this heat. I'm sharing a room with Lars, who's his cameraman, editor. He literally had about half an hour's sleep last night. I know that because I had 3.5 hours sleep and I thought I did badly. He had half an hour's sleep. He is looking a bit jaded right now as I look over though. It's pretty impressive. Dedication to the cause. Is that video out yet? It's coming out soon. It's coming out soon. He can't even speak, I tell you. He's a broken man. I went to bed, I was so jet lagged at 9, I'm thinking I'd get through to at least 3 in the morning. Woke up at 12:30, couldn't get back to sleep. Oh, disaster. Good job we're having early starts. It'll be better than the late ones. Speak of it, Nico Preen. There he is. He's got some dubious sail numbers, I won't lie. What else are we looking at here? Morning troops. Have I missed any big upsets today? You haven't missed much. We've only got through 4 heats so far. There's been a bit of a damp squid today. We got John Baptiste saying wave slalom Omazaki. That would be pretty impressive. Maybe, you never know, could happen again. Seems that some guys and women use slalom sails, not foil sails. It depends what brand they're on, I guess, and how serious they're into it. But I think the RRD sail that Sukas has could be the slalom sail. There you go. The equipment list is on YouTube now. And if you are on Facebook commenting, I apologise. I'm on YouTube using the comments from the YouTube channel. So if you do want to comment, maybe go onto YouTube. It's hard when they're all in lots of different places. So I do apologise. I actually realised yesterday a lot of people were commenting, or people were commenting, I should say, on Facebook. I didn't always read them through. So Bob on YouTube says, just after midnight in Canada, but don't want to go to bed for fear of missing something. Well, I'd stay tuned, because it's still going on, you know. Contrary to what I believe, it doesn't matter. What we get on the water is it all to play for. 15 seconds to go. Heat number 5, elimination 5 coming up. Here we go. Is that Jules? He looks a bit early. He's very early, isn't he? He's so early, he literally couldn't stop. So that's got to be a general recall. I mean, oh my God, he was so early, it was almost embarrassing. I was thinking what was going on there. He couldn't stop. As soon as he stopped, he was off the plane. I mean, really, you just want to carry on the race, because he didn't affect the start at all. But we know at least Jules is getting disqualified here. I don't know why he's turned round. He may as well just head to the beach, because there is no way in the world he is not over. The only thing that could save him was he was so early that they didn't think he was in the race. Because, I mean, he was early. Should we have a replay of that? Or just to see how early he was. So, Jules making it even more painful. We've got a comment there saying Jules forever the best. Well, definitely the earliest. I'm not sure about the best. Definitely the earliest. It really is light, isn't it? I can hear the conversations from here. We've got 9:40 in the Reunion Islands. Now that's a nice place to live. How's the Sharks over there at the moment? I did hear they got out of hand at one point, but I've seen a lot of sailors going back there recently. If you missed the video, Thomas Traversa, Anton Martin. It was a pretty impressive video, that. I did like that video. It looks lighter and lighter. I know. Shut up, Ben. Stop rubbing it. But it just doesn't look it right, does it? You can see. It just looks worse and worse. We got Matteo saying, I'm on my way back from Australian Wave Sailing Nationals in Giroa. You keeping me company. Wow, how did they go? Any action? We got the replay. Let's have a look at that start replay. Come on, let's see how early he was. Look at him. The start line is the buoy, just so you know. Okay, so he's over. We can't see the boat, actually. Oh, yeah, but the flag isn't even up. It's just gone up now. so I mean, I think he may as well just carried on. There was almost no point stopping at that point. Should have just sailed straight back to the beach, I would have thought would have been the correct thing to do. I did think it was funny that he turned back towards the boat, as if you never know. You never know. Well, it's going to be a short highlights video today, that's for sure. We caught the low lights. There was one sailor over early, apparently. And apparently it was Low and Jules, funny enough. Photo finished, they had to re-watch it apparently a few times just to make sure. 5 to 9 knots on the course. We got Harold tuned in, says greetings from greetings to the Germans, German fellows. Nobody else. Greetings to the German fellows, no one else. It's not very nice. Come on. Max says good morning to everyone. He's more inclusive. Jean-Baptiste, the wind is light. No shit, Sherlock. No, you're correct. It is light. That is for sure. It's right on the edge. But you can see how light these boys can go in. They're still moving around quite nicely. 9 meters. Well, this says we've got a minute until the start. So, yeah. We've got a minute until the start. Matteo says, yes, congrats to George Westra, who took the win on the first elimination. George, the jungle. That's his local, isn't it? Where's Paul Van Bellen when you need him? Right. This looks like it's going to be an action-packed race. I think we've already lost 2 riders, so we only got 6 in it. 4 to qualify. And we got some light winds. And there's a boat already in the middle of the start, which is never a good sign. When the postponement flag is not really flying. Oh, there's a gust there, actually. There we go. Echo Preen. Yeah, it's the writing is on the wall, let's say. Paul Van Bellen is up. He says, yep, George, local. The guy rips. Well, he is the national champion by the sounds of it. I mean, it's a big old place, Australia, isn't it? Do you have state championships or it is a national championships? Because it's quite a long way to go. Like in the UK, if you have a national championships, it's a couple of hours drive each way. But Western Australia is like that sort of size. It's quite mad, actually, when you see Australia, then Europe fits inside it. Is that the map I've seen before? It's bigger than you think. Well, it's bigger than I think. There we go. Little another Liberty harness. There's a lot of them around. I spoke to Mr. Liberty because he's here. I said he must be a millionaire. He must be killing it. He says, not yet. Let's see. Oi. What do you reckon, people? Are we going to do any more heats today? I'm not so sure. Here we go. Australia, national champions to go different states each year. How they go different state each year. Okay, makes sense. Oh dear, Rafa looks happy. Been on that boat for a while. What do you reckon he's reading? 4 to 7 knots. Making me a bit seasick watching him, to be fair. Ooh. C Matrix says that'll be it, I think. Yeah, I think the same. Good morning, Europe, says John Baptiste. Harold says it's too early in Germany to be gentle to all the windsurfers. Although I did get a low there, I just read. I don't know if there's anyone on the beach. Maybe we do some beach interviews, get a feeling in the camp. Becker's already through his heat, so at least he's done some good work today. You can see how far away we are. That's the beach where we are in the background there. So that is, I mean, we're a long way away. The beauty of modern technology, isn't it? It's crazy. When you see that land cam, it really makes me think of like commentating just from the beach cam, and this would be a horrible angle to commentate on because you're seeing straight down the reach, so you wouldn't get any idea of speed. It would be pretty dismal. I was a bit worried we were going to get a lot of rain this week, but actually it's turning out we're not had as much as I thought. Max said, I was rewatching day 2 till late last night. What great races. Thanks for the streaming. Yeah, it was. If you haven't seen day number 2, it's worth watching in its entirety. I mean, there is a great highlights video on as well. But I definitely, the rewatch of Alive, there was some really good racing. You know, definitely from the quarterfinals onwards. It was pretty interesting stuff. Some massive crashes, you know, in difficult conditions. And there you go. That's the riders' areas. Bob says, I find it amazing they can foil in light of the wind. Back in the day, in the IMCO days, it would have been a pump fest. Yeah, tell me about it. Then with the days, the old IMCO days. That was my weight category, the old IMCO, 68 kilos. I'm a bit heavier than that now. I'm not quite sure how I was ever 68 kilos, but there you go. Look, another Liberty harness. Half seat, half waist. Looks like a nappy, but pretty good for foiling. John Baptiste says, I wish we had that streaming for the Aloha Classic. PWA says, so do we. Oh. Conditions were 4047. And onshore looked like Pozo. Wow, that's interesting. Obviously, we're talking about Australia there in the comments for the Wave Sailing Nationals. Did anyone come over from Western Oz? Did Jager make an appearance? He's putting out fires. Now he's a fireman. Hey, Shaka. Throw in the Shaka. Sam says it's nap time, Ben. I think you might be right. Like I said, I had 3.5 hours sleep last night. There's a Hooper. There we go. double Shaka. Hooper on the Phantom gear. Actually, the only guy here on the Phantom gear. Doesn't seem as many people as there used to be, but I guess Nicholas Goya missing. Bang. Well, I don't know how long this is going to stay like this. Like I say, this is about 3 o'clock local time. It's pretty much dark at 4:30, and it's meant to drop towards the end of the day. All those things are coming true. I don't think it's long before they'll be calling this. We're into the quarterfinals now. So, you know, big things at play, world titles at stake. There is wind forecast tomorrow. I mean, there was wind forecast today, but there is more wind forecast for tomorrow. So I think tomorrow we'll definitely be getting at least 1 elimination. It could be even 3. I don't think we'll go 4, but it's going to be between 1 and 3 would be my guess. We've already started this one, so we're already, you know, into this 5th elimination, which could prove useful. I'm a big fan of saying how many we're going to do at the beginning of the day, or a maximum. But I think, you know, less sometimes is more. I keep saying it, but it makes the racing sometimes closer. Yeah, John Baptiste saying, Ben, I should heat the honey up for your voice. I actually tried to get some honey at breakfast today, but I was explaining it to him, and everyone, well, not everyone, Miss Jackson was laughing at me because I was doing the impression of a bee, just because I was trying to get across and want some honey, but it didn't work. They don't seem to have it. Whoa, getting a bit... Whoa! What the hell happened there? Wow. Yeah, I mean, what are the chances of seeing a sail come out of a board. Can we have a replay? How has that even happened live on camera? That's pretty mad. Like, look at that. Or is he already out at this point? It might, yeah. What? That's just ridiculous. We've got an interview with Remy Villa. Yeah, okay. So Mr. Starboard, let's go to the beach, see what he's got to say.
On the water. So we found Remy Villa, the starboard product manager. What are you doing here, Remy?
I don't know. It's too cold. No, I'm not. No, it's simple. I am coming here to support my team rider. It's very important because it's the last event. So they need to be confident that the brand will support them. So I come here to help them to achieve the best result as possible.
Are there any riders in particular that you're here to support?
Matteo and Blanca, but also Hele. And I just discovered Lina for the first time, who is helped by our distributor, and it's very nice to meet her.
Lena had a great day yesterday. Is it cool to see the next generation coming through, especially on the IQ gear?
Yeah, I think it's very important actually for the PWA that we have a huge base who is coming from the IQ foil, because IQ foil is very good. You can bring to the Olympic, but if you don't have a dream of to be Olympic, you can go to the PWA. So it's easy to jump from IQ foil to PWA. If we look at the past, we have big techno, but going to Aero 6 was not that good, and going to slalom they was not ready. But here we have really a pathway with very good, easy to jump from IQ foil to PWA.
So seeing Lena coming over, do you think that's going to inspire more riders to come over now?
I think compared to their result, it's clear, it shows that you can jump from IQ foil to PWA and succeed.
That's really cool. So as a product manager, does being on events like this help you with what you're thinking for next year and the year after?
Of course, and I see a lot of improvement can be done to improve the PWA, to race in more light wind conditions, for example, and to make the PWA bigger and get more confidence from the sponsors.
So as a brand, are you making your equipment more efficient in light winds for next year?
Yes, we're always trying to push the boundary as much as possible, because my philosophy is if we arrive to push this boundary, we can go to places there is light wind and possibly rich country. In general is this, they have money but they have no wind. So if we can convince this country to organize PWA event, it's a win-win for everyone.
Are there any countries in particular you'd like to see us going to?
Any country with light wind. I will not say this one or this one, but there is many countries with too light wind in general. But if we improve the equipment for light wind, then it's very accessible.
That's really interesting. Thank you very much for your time, and
You're welcome.
We'll see you later.
Yeah, so there we go. Remy Villa. Obviously, promoted a bit of IQ foil, but yeah, he's got a good point. IQ foil, we will see, I'm pretty sure of it, after next year. Obviously, Olympics is next year. The guys that don't make it, the girls that don't make it, there is a pathway onto the PWA Tour. And then obviously after the Olympics as well. You know, we've seen, obviously, Nico Goya has come from PWA, gone over to IQ Foil, doing pretty good, and come back again. So, yeah, that's an interesting take on it. Going to be interested to see where that goes the next few years. Next up, we've got Maciej Rakowski, obviously, coming to this event, leading the World Tour. Last year's world champion. It's not gone quite his way at the moment. What has he got to say?
Maciej, back on the beach, what's it like out there?
It was good for a few minutes, but now it's a dog poo emoji, let's say.
Do you think we're going to be getting any more racing today?
Do you think that's... I don't know, like it's a lottery. I have no idea. I don't even know what time it is, if it's getting late or not. It's like, it clearly got better when the sky opened and it cleared up. and right now it got kind of squished again, but I don't know, this place is hard to tell for sure.
You've got some scratches on your arm. What are they from?
Yeah, they're from yesterday when I hit this concrete pipe thing underwater. Yeah, not too bad actually. Like, they probably look more dramatic than than they actually are, but yeah, they remind me of a not so fun incident yesterday.
Yesterday wasn't a great day. Pushing for a second discard now. Do you think we're going to get it?
I think tomorrow looks really good, but in this place it seems that the overcast is really crucial. So look, I don't analyze. You come to the beach, we're here all day anyway, so we're gonna race, and it's not like I'm gonna change my racing if we race 7 or 6 or 5 or 15, you know? Still gonna race the same way. So.
And lastly, you're back on the beach to change something. What are you changing?
I'd put more power in the foil, but I don't know if it's actually worth it because we're not racing. Like, I couldn't even fly now on the way back to the beach, so yeah, I don't know.
Awesome. Well, good luck if we race.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. So I don't think he seems too hopeful, but tomorrow, like he said, when it cleared up today, that's when the wind came through. Tomorrow looks a lot clearer today. The wind forecast is stronger as well, so those two things could go together, and I think we'll be in for a very interesting day, and I think the world titles will be decided tomorrow. So if you're going to stay up for one night in Europe, it is tomorrow. Obviously, if wherever you are in the world, it will be different times. But in Europe, it could be a late night or a very early morning. But I think that's when we're going to see those world titles. Like I say, the last day of competition, the forecast is pretty much on the forecast nothing, and that I don't see that changing. It seems it's been like that for a long time. It's still like it. They seem pretty confident. So I think everything could come down to tomorrow. And if you're racing tomorrow, like Magic said, maybe you're not going to change your game plan, but maybe you are. If it's the last race and you're going to have to push hard. You have to push hard anyway, but maybe you've got nothing to lose if you know it's only the last race or something like this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing who will win the world titles this year, because although we've got some sort of players who are look at the kit getting a little bit washed at the moment. Tide's coming in. But yeah, we've got some guys and girls who are kind of pulled out a little bit, but it's definitely not all over. And let's say 3 eliminations tomorrow would nearly be, what we've had already again. So if people could easily change around, there's going to be more stress involved. There's going to be a bit of nerves involved. There's going to be different conditions. There's going to be different setups, different heats, different seeding. It could go so many different ways. And as we saw, like with Will McMillan winning that last elimination yesterday, these are the guys who are not really in the running for a world title, but could cause some problems if they're in between some of these world title contenders. This is what could change everything, and I think we will see some drama tomorrow. I'll be very surprised if it's just a normal day and everything goes to plan and people finish where they expect to finish. I just can't see that happening from what we saw yesterday. I think it's going to be an interesting one. Okay, so we got an interesting interview next with not one of the racers. It's Takuma Sugi, obviously freestyler, top wave sailor, just come back from the Aloha Classic, and I think he's finished in the top 10 this year. So impressive stuff from Takuma Sugi this year.
Takuma Sugi,
Yeah.
what are we doing here?
Just watching the slalom show after the Aloha Classic, and then we had some night show and the two-win event here.
So is there a Japanese event running alongside this?
Yeah,
Just for freestyle, slalom? What's the...
just for the freestyle. Yeah.
Okay, and let's talk about your season. How was the season for you?
Actually, I'm so shocked the loss in the first round of the Aloha Classic. So my this year goal is like top 5, but I lost the first round. I'm so shocked that result. Yeah, but was fun. I got a good result in the Fiji, and yeah, for sure I enjoyed all the competition. Yeah, it was good for me this year.
Was it cool to have more events with the combined tours?
Yeah,
Do you want to see it like that next year?
yeah, hoping more good result next year. So yeah, I'm training a lot, more training than Maizaki and then anywhere. So I will get a good result for next year.
You're from around here. Are there some good wave spots near Miura as well?
Actually, not wave because you know, like close to Tokyo, so we have the like small bay, so they don't have here. It's not wavy anymore. I live the other coast. It's more wavy, but usually it's flat, not wavy and not windy. I'm moving the Maizaki, the 3 hours by car. It's far a bit, but it's okay. So good for the training for the wave.
So is that your plan for the winter? Stay in Japan?
Yeah, I will change in my place in the Maizaki. So I living there the 3 months or something. Yeah, for sure. I will training the sabo attack more and the freestyle.
Nice. So is it good
Am I-
there this winter?
Yeah, it's gonna be windy. So from next week, it's gonna be so firing. So I go next week from the end of the like February or something. I will go there.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you on tour next year, and good luck for next year.
Thank you.
Okay, so I've just heard they are sending the riders back to the beach. I don't think we've got anything else today. They might have even called it. I need to just check and get confirmation of that, but they are definitely sending the riders back to the beach. With the wind not getting any better and the forecast looking much better for Monday morning, with clearer skies and stronger winds, the sailors have been released for the day. So that is it. So thanks to everyone for tuning in. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing any more racing today. Results stand as they did going into today. Johan So leading here in Japan and leading that world title race. Blanca Alabao in second and leading the world title race. But in the women leading the event is Justine Lemaitre. Lots to play for tomorrow. Do not miss tomorrow's racing because that is when I believe the world titles will be decided. The clearer skies, stronger winds, it is looking good. So thank you once again. That is it from us here in Japan on day number 3 for the Fly A&A Yokosuka PWA World Cup. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.